Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to G Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. And it is June, I don't know, July, I mean. Hey, I've been losing time. I worked out here last night until after dark. So I got the roof on, the roof rafters and all of that, and the ridge beam and all of that stuff is done. The four vents are in place up there. I've got them tied down with little pieces of this ribbon string that they have everything tied together within the boxes here. So that's so the wind won't grab them and flop them up and down. And I'll be modifying those catches as I go on so that they'll hold up in the wind. Anyway, let me show you what I've been doing. Oh, by the way, I have the tripod setting here because I'm going to show you. I've watched a few videos on YouTube, and people are always confused about how these clips go in. So I'm going to show you how they go in. And they go in quite easily. But I'm going to do that by putting the camera in the tripod in a little while. They give you this tool. Now, I don't need this tool to install them, but it sure is handy if you have to take them back out for any reason. And you have to use it to take them out because I found out that when I was putting the upper panels in up there, there's a slot up here that these slide into first before you put the clips in. And I had it on the outside of that slot instead of behind it, and I guess that's where I'm going to have to put some silicone and put a couple of those self-drilling screws through to make sure that this doesn't rattle too much. But if you put enough of the clips in the right places, this one's going to call for 4 on each side. So I'm putting them right where the cross member braces are so that they look kind of uniform here. All right, well, before I get too far in here, I got out here this morning and look what I found. And there's dog prints. So a dog was digging here, but there's a small hole down there. It looks like a desert ground squirrel was underground there, and I guess they smelled it or heard it or whatever, and they were trying to dig it out of there. So I'll be filling that back in. Remember, this area is going to be a breezeway, and this wire is going to come across here, and I'm going to have the same wire mesh as that on the floor here, so I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. But that's down the line. Yeah, the doors are in, and they're not bad little doors, as you can see. They have rollers at the top, and they have plastic guides at the bottom. But with the blowing dirt and dust, I'll have to make sure I keep those tracks clean down there. They can see they're already filling up with dirt and sand, and that will cause the little plastic things to wear. So anyway, yeah, I got those in up there, and I'm going to be doing the other side here in a little while. The wind just came up, but it's not that bad. It was a little stronger earlier, and I brought my windproof mic out just in case. But then I realized, well, I'm not going to be able to use that when I put this in the holder over there and on the tripod. But yeah, something got under the wire here and has been doing a bunch of trenching under there. So I'm not sure if that was a lizard. It looks like it's probably a lizard because there's no holes that go down into the ground. So I think it's a lizard that's been going under there and doing his little tracking through there. But like I said, what I'm going to be doing is when I go to Home Depot on the next run, I'll be picking up some Portland cement, and I'm going to mix that with desert soil in a dry mix, and then I'm going to spread it out in here like concrete, and then give it a light sprinkling with water, and then let it set up so it's a really hard floor. But it should still also be somewhat porous to allow water through. It just won't be very easy for critters to dig through. I hope this wind isn't bothering you. I'm going to move around the other side, and we're going to get into how to install those little clips. And they give you loads of them. This is one bag. That's the other bag there. So we'll do this in a second. I just have one question for everybody out there. I went to my local store here to get some ice and some groceries. And everybody that I've seen, all the local stores, they all have signs up that say, due to a national coin shortage, please try to use exact change. Okay, well, can anybody explain to me how, if it is, how the COVID virus created a national coin shortage? You'd think that with more people staying home and shopping online, things like that, where's the coin shortage from? Just curious. Anyway, let me check my list before I go into this next step here. Oh yeah, in the booklet, when I started this thing, started constructing this, it says 2 or more people required for setting this up. Well, there's 3 of us, me, myself, and I, and we got it done. Of course, remember, I work smart, not hard. So where it came to like putting up the top beam up there, it was pretty easy to figure out. I raised it up and rested it on top of the solid side, the side that doesn't wave too much. And then I was able to go up the ladder on the other side and put 1 bolt in to hold it, then come back across and put a bolt in on this side, and I'll put 2 bolts in this side, and that took care of that. So, one thing in the book that's wrong, it says after you put up the ridge beam, it says put end caps on it. Don't put the end caps on. I didn't, but because it didn't sound right at that point, because those little vent doors have to slide in that top rail. The top hinge of it slides in a rail. And if you have the end caps on, you have to take them off again to slide those things in. So, you know, end caps and things like that, that's all pretty stuff. So you can save that for last. Now, these things come with a gutter on both sides. I'll be sealing the gutter where the joints go together so that they're pretty good watertight. And then I'm going to be putting a water barrel at the end of them to catch the runoff when the rains come. So I'll have a little bit more water collection. There's not that much roof space, but every quart of water, every gallon of water makes a difference, right? All right. So I wanted to show you that in the book. It shows you all the numbers of the panels, and these X's mean where to put those clips in. And it shows there's quite a few clips to put in. And then it shows you that part that I forgot of how it fits into the slots. Well, I know it now, so there we go. Now this is the instructions on what they say for putting these clips in. And you know what? I'm going to attempt to put one in without putting the camera down. I'm going to do it one-handed. And this is not very clear about how it goes. And it shows that the springs go behind the clear panels. So that was kind of confusing, A, B, and C. And then they show the tool here, and they have it pointed right here. Well, that's where you put it to take these clips out. I wouldn't put it there to put the clips in. But let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. See if I can't do this. Now, I just put this one panel in here a little while ago, just so that I could show you how these clips work. And let's see if we can do this one-handed here. Okay, so this is the clip. And if you hold it by the center piece here with the 2 pointed ends kind of pointing back at you to the side that you're going to put it in. So I'm going to put this on the left side. So they're pointing to the left side and towards me, okay? So there's a ridge right here on the metal beam. And you're going to put those 2 points right behind that ridge. Okay, now put your finger right here to hold it in place. Now as you're pushing, you want to push kind of towards this beam slightly and in at the same time. And the clip usually slides right into place. So here we go. Well, let's see. It's kind of hard one-handed. There it goes. You see how it just slid into place, but it's not all the way in yet. It's got to go in and clip like that. And then you see these pieces, like the diagram shows, are actually behind the panel. And this part is what's holding the panel. Okay? So it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. And two-handed, they go really fast. So I'm going to try this side. You got to put the two, let me see if I can get you in focus here, to get the 2 points behind the ridge, just like that. And then as you're pushing, you're going to push in and pull slightly, and see how it just springs and clips in right behind. Well, that's all there is to it. So I'm going to have 2 more at the bottom, 2 more at the top, and then this panel is done. And I'll get on moving with the others, and I'll show you at the end of the day the completed greenhouse, except for the floor, which I'll be doing before I put the breezeway in. I'll be putting the floor in, because I have to bring a wheelbarrow through here, and I'll be building a little wooden ramp to go over to the threshold with the wheelbarrow so I don't damage the threshold, and that'll take up some time. All right, and then on my next trip, I'll also be picking up the other 200 feet of tubing I need to finish my solar panel. Some people have said they can't wait to see how that thing works out. Me either. But the problem is that my pumps that are going to be used for that, they're hot water pumps. You can't just use any old pump. It's got to be a hot water pump designed for pumping hot water. Otherwise, the hot water gets so hot, it's going to damage your other types of pumps. So I had to order those online, and they're shipping from out of country. So they're going to take, they said, somewhere between August and September before I get them. So I got a whole month to go before I even start getting word that they're on their way. And what I probably will do is, if I get the panel together, I'm going to get it out here. I'm going to get one of my blue barrels. I don't have any to show you right now. But I'm going to get one of my little 20-gallon blue barrels there and fill that with water. And I'm going to start pumping water out of it, through the panel, and back inside again. And we'll take a temperature reading of the water before and after, and see how much it heats up the water. So I think I can do that for a while without burning out my transfer pump. And we'll have some fun with it, won't we? All right, everybody. Questions and comments at the bottom. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. You don't want to miss what's coming up next, because I'm always getting into trouble. G-Bear signing off.